Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Tactics Review. We are carrying on with our series where we're reviewing the ClanBanger22 tactic. You'll see exactly what we're going to do here. We've used it to good effect with Oxford City, who were predicted to finish at the bottom of the National South. They ended up getting promoted. We then used it with Chorley in the National, and they got to the playoffs, having been expected to finish bottom. And so what we do is we take the lowest ranked team in that division, we sim the tactic, we play a couple of games, sim till the end of the season and just see what happens. We have no influence on it with what you will see. If you have missed episode 1 and 2, go and check those out, for the simple reason in episode 2 you'll see how we talk through the player positions and the tactic and how everything is set up. I'm not going to do that in each episode, it'd take far too much time, and we need to get some of these episodes out. So today we are Macclesfield, or should I say the simulator is going to be Macclesfield. Macclesfield are predicted to finish bottom of League 2, and so we've just been appointed. We're going to accept the current vision. All this we're not too fussed about. Let's have a quick look. This is League 2, and so if you look, the way that Football Manager works and the way that this season preview works is that it takes the players, and the players that you have got, it ranks them, and that's how your odds work. You improve your squad, your odds move up higher, which you'll have seen. So Macclesfield are the favourites to be relegated. They are 50 to 1, and that is the lowest ranked team in Sky Bet League 2. What we do is literally give all the power here and responsibilities over, we delegate it all. Whoever that may be, we delegate it to them. The reason being is we don't care about the team. Undertake courses, that's fine, it won't do anything for there. We're not doing anything with the team, we're just literally simming the tactic. So we're making the assistant manager make all the choices. And so where we can delegate tasks, we do. That means everything that is being done by the club, and we have no input into it. Literally everything is being given across. Tactics, signings, you name it. We are just there as spectators. So as you can see, if we look on responsibilities now, there's only a couple that are with me, and that's because we can't delegate to anybody on there. That's fine, we're not bothered about that. So what we're going to do is load up the tactic. So we go in here, ClanBanger22, we put that on, and that's it. I'll briefly go over how it is set up. It is a 4-3-3 asymmetric, and we have a higher attacking midfielder on the right than the left. We have a sweeper keeper, 2 wing backs on automatic. We have 2 ball playing defenders. We have a winger who's attacking on the left hand side, a deep line playmaker who plays support, a box to box midfielder who plays support, and 2 advanced forwards on attack. It's an attacking mentality. We're not going to select the team. We're not going to do absolutely anything at all. Everything's going to be done by the computer. And so we will see this tactic and what it's going to do. If you look there, they've got some friendlies that they've got to get through. We're going to go to the 1st of February, which means we will be back for the Northampton game. We'll show the Northampton game and Leyton Orient game. We'll then sim towards the end of the season, in between doing some reviews and seeing where we are and how the tactic has fared. What is a little bit different than what we've done before, we're now in a professional league. So that could have a better bearing for the tactic, or worse, depending on how you look at that. Macclesfield, again, expected to finish bottom, so let's see if it improves them. The one thing to remember is, if you were managing the team, you would have much more influence. You would be signing players, probably better players than they've got already, and you potentially could influence this to be better. You could also influence to be worse. So it has this up and down side. So what we're going to do is going to get that simmed, go on holiday. We are going to use current match tactics. We're not going to change that. We're not going to mess about with that selection. We're going to let the computer do that, and we're simply going to reject all offers because we don't want the side being emptied out. I'm going to return on holiday, from holiday, not on holiday, on the 1st of February. That is it. I'll see you in a second. So we're back, and it's February, so let's see what's happened. It's hard to keep it spoiler 3 because Macclesfield, you can see they're a 6th. So we know already that they're doing better, but let's go and have a look at what the results were. So we can see that the friendlies, unlike the last time we used it, they are indifferent. I think the last couple of times they've just been straight green wins all the way through. But then there's some notable ones like the 3-0 win over Falkirk, and the 8-1 over Chesham there. Well, the friendlies aren't really that important in terms of the results. It's more about them getting their way of playing. So then we look at the league, and it starts off pretty well with a draw against Exeter, then a 2-0 win over Leyton Orient, through in the Carabao Cup, and then 2 straight victories over Northampton and Morecambe before then being undone against Scunthorpe. They then pull off a shock victory over Wigan in the Carabao Cup second round with a 3-3 draw and then winning on penalties. They then drew against Stevenage before beating Morecambe in the FA Trophy and then Crawley 5-2 in the league. So up until that point, really, really good. We then hit a little bit of a sticky wicket where we lose to Swindon, beat Newport, lose to Grimsby, and then are beaten by Charlton in the League Cup before then beating Colchester 2-0. Unfortunately, the bad form sets in again. So we see Cambridge, where we lost, then to Bolton, which probably is expected, a draw against Port Vale, then back to winning ways. Before then, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games without winning. All this time, though, scoring goals. 3 against Mansfield, 3 against Salford, 2 against Cheltenham, 2 against Oldham, 1 there, 3 there. So lots of goals, 2 against Crewe. And then a 3-game winning streak where we beat Plymouth 3-0, Grimsby 2-0, and then Forest Green 5-0. A loss to Port Vale again, I think that's twice in the season. No, drew with Port Vale. Beat Cambridge 1-0, then drew with Oldham before beating Colchester 4-2, losing to Forest Green and drawing against Newport. So some very mixed results. If we look at the table then, Macclesfield 13 wins, 8 draws, 9 defeats, scored 53, conceded 41. Top scorers in the league, a 12-goal difference and 47 points. They are only 9 points off that top spot and 7 points off Bradford, which is the automatic promotion places. Just remember, Macclesfield were favourites to go down. So all in all, that's quite good. If we look at the club vision, A+. Delighted with the position there, competitive in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. They're concerned with a couple of victories there, but A+ rating. So the board are more than happy. £206,000 in the profile. We'll see that they have 2 of the top 3 scorers in Donovan Wilson with 17 and Arthur Nahu with 12. Sterling's in between them. Player of the match, Donovan Wilson, is joint top there. He's also top of the average ratings. Clean sheets, Jonathan Mitchell's there. 9 clean sheets in 30 games. It's not fantastic, but it's still there. Assist-wise, Connor Kirby's up there with 8. Donovan Wilson, 6 assists as well as his goals. But unlike the others, assists aren't coming from all over. We don't have an abundance from one player. And then yellow card for Shilu Tracer. Let's have a look at the squad then. And let's do this by goals. And you can see 20 goals for Wilson, 15 for Nahu. This is all competition. 6 for Archibald, 5 for Fitzpatrick, 5 for Shiloh, 3 for Ironside, 2 for Kirby, 2 for O'Keefe, Pearson with 2, and then 1 the rest bar these. Then we've got 7 assists, 8 for Kirby. And although I did say they weren't being spread around, they are. They're just not in the same abundance. I don't think they're scoring, this Macclesfield side, as many goals as what we've seen with Chorley and Oxford City so far. So we've got 7 assists there, Archibald and Wilson, 6 for Tracy, 5 for Fitzpatrick, 4 for McCourt, and then 3 downwards there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get a couple of games out of the way. We're not going to really do anything. We're just going to press quick pick. That's it. Let's, out of interest, let's have a look at what they've done. They have signed a lot of players. Or is that before? They haven't. So all these are before we took charge. So they've signed Aaron Sibia, who's played a handful of games, and Peter Chioso, who is on loan, or was on loan from Luton. I think he's gone back there. Yeah, gone back there. So not much in the way. I would think that if we look at reputation, they're even worse to go down. 70-1 now. So the squad has got worse because everybody else's teams have got better, bar Morecambe and Macclesfield. So it's quite interesting that squad doesn't look as good as it did initially. It looks worse because the other teams have improved. So being in 6th position is quite good. They're still in the hunt. Tactics doing what it needs to do. It's improving side. And just remember, you would have influence. So let's get a couple of games out of the way. So this is the Northampton game. I know what we're going to do. Quick pick and get straight into it. That's it. We're not messing about with the team. That's not what this is about. This is about the tactic. And as you can see, all that's already done. Let's just make sure that that's up there. And yep, it's fine. Underway. And let's have a look at this tactic in action against Northampton then. Not been in great form, it looks like, through what we've just seen. But it's still always nice to see what's happening. It would be quite interesting. What I might do is put an episode 7 onto this, and that's Northampton leading 1-0. And basically, rather than showing these games like we're doing in each episode, is actually take the tactic and sim a full season at the top rated clubs, and just literally have the results at the end and just go through each one. And because I think that would even it out a little bit, because we're taking the bottom clubs. If this tactic is put at the best rated team in that division, will it let them then just walk through leagues? And the other one is to probably let it sim through so many years with one club. So playing about with that, and that's what we might do. And while I was talking, we have a goal, and it's Fraser Horsfall who scored his first goal of the season for Macclesfield. That's a defender, assist from Tollett, and it was from a set piece corner. And possession wise, 45%. So it's a lot less than what it was in the other two divisions. But we can see that the attacking threat is still there. Look, see Fitzpatrick now, O'Keefe out to Tracy. Tracy's going to run in. He does get the cross in, and Tollett gets the header. And although Northampton took the early lead, it's been 50-50, but we seem to be, Macclesfield seem to have had the highlights. What we have done in the other saves is use 3 substitutes around about the 60th minute mark, and that's just us trying to replicate what would happen, because normally that's what would happen between the 60th and 70th minute. 3 substitutes would come on. It'll probably be the least conditioned players in there. So if we look now, Pearson and Fitzpatrick and Tracer. So we've really yet to see a big scoring game for the team that we've put the tactic in. since we've done this, and that's the whole point of seeing these games, is to see that. Who have we got to come on? Let's have a look. Archibald, who wants to be on the left, can come on for Tollett. Connor Kirby wants to be in the centre, so he can come on for McCaw. And Wilson can go there. Some very strange selections, because I noticed Donovan Wilson was the top scorer and wasn't in. I didn't check then. And here's Northampton again. Mitchell saves. I didn't check then. We'll have a look in a second. And he probably wasn't fit enough to start. I didn't actually, because we're just doing quick picks. So not starting with the top scorer and the top assister, Kirby, who we've just put on for him. And Northampton have scored. That's 2-1. It's an own goal, Corey O'Keefe. So Macclesfield are flying above all expectations, and we will see towards the end of the season what's going to happen to them. But at this stage, although the tactic is working, I'm not as convinced by the tactic as a raw tactic. As in, if you were to go into a club in February and you're trying to get out of relegation, or you're trying to get promotion, or you're stalling a little bit, or something's happening and you want to put this tactic in raw, I'm not necessarily convinced. I think it would need your influence, and it's probably going to be one that you start the season with and build, rather than panic. Put the tactic in as a panic situation and try and get out of somewhere, because I think that's what at the bottom club, using the bottom ranked club, shows you that although it works, it's not the answer. The answer is when you put the players in that play in those positions and improve it, and you have your say within the team. Now let's get on to that second game. And now on to the game against Leyton Orient. And again, all we're going to do is we're going to quick pick it. And it's put Wilson back in. It has put, let's have a look. I'm not going to change anything. Yeah, Kirby's suspended. So this is what the assistant manager thinks is the best team. It has put Wilson back in there. The only thing I think of is he wasn't as in good condition as what the others were. Let's get this underway. Let's see whether putting those best players back in makes that difference. We've done all this. This is all done for us. And so now this will be a test, playing the top team. I think have Macclesfield dropped out the 9th. We've broken Macclesfield. Hopefully we get to see this tactic in action, because that's what the live games are about. We can sim till the end of the season and get the results. It literally is just for that, just to see it. We've got Fitzpatrick now, big long throw, comes back out to Archibald. Archibald gets it in, there's nobody there, and Tracer with a nice volley there and makes it 1-0. And that might put them back in the playoff hunt. If have a look at this again. Fitzpatrick with an almighty long throw. Archibald over the top, comes out to Tracy, and that is actually an amazing goal for this level. Shillow Tracy scoring, and now a big long throw again, is it? No, it's not this time, but it's Archibald who gets it again, and Tracy's there. It's been disallowed. It was offside. We'll probably see this again. Fitzpatrick, Archibald, and he is offside. But that would have been 2, and that would have been good. We would have been seeing a lot of this tactic, and I think we are seeing it here, because if you look at the stats on there, 6 shots, 3 on target. Possession's about 50-50. And that's another big long throw there, but the keeper picks that out, not troubling him. But this would actually be an impressive victory. Well, I'm tempting fate for him, but that's saved by Mitchell. Really want to see a game where we see these high scoring games. That's what we want to see. It's just a shame we haven't seen it so far. I don't think we've seen one. I can't remember the last 2 episodes whether we did see that. I don't think we did. Not one of these 6-4 ones, which would be nice to see. It's about the 65th minute, so we're just going to bring 3 substitutes on for them. Harry Hamblin, where does he want to play? No, he wants to play Joe Ironside. He wants to be up there. Let's put him on for Nahu. Ben Stevens, he wants to play up there. Let's put him on. And Mr. Tollett wants to play on that right hand side for Tracy. So let's change that up. And all we're doing there is just replicating what we think would be the time that the manager would make 3 changes, because obviously we've taken over for the live games, so that's all we're doing. And that's a decent shot from Baxter there. Does go over, and now it's Fitzpatrick again. Fitzpatrick, keeper saves from Ironside, but Fitzpatrick, he's got an almighty long throw. And this is now Leyton Orient. They have a free kick. We're going to see this Maguire Drew, and he scores. It's 1-1. 1-1. Maguire Drew. Let's have a look at this. It's a free kick. Keeper standing over the other side, and it goes straight. I have no idea why he stood over that side. Probably just his inexperience at this level. But we're approaching the 90th minute. I can't make any substitutions for the manager there, but it's Horsfall. He scored in the last game. Stevens tries to knock it back, doesn't come to anything, and it's Leyton Orient who are playing around nicely there. Right to Muscat, Johnson, and I thought they were going to steal it then. I really thought they were going to steal it at the death. But it remains 1-1 at the moment. It's about an even game. It really is. And that's dealt with. Free kick. O'Shea deals with that. Shot wise, I mean, Leyton Orient's just gone ahead there. When we were last looking at it, it was about 10-5 and 50% possession. And that's it. That is your lot. What we're going to do now, let's click up to there, is firstly go to the tactics, and we're going to clear off entire team selection. Done. We're going to go here, and the last game of the season is the 25th of April. So let's put us on holiday until the 25th of April. We'll review what we've seen, and I'll see you back in a second. So that's it. This is the end of the season, and as you can see, Macclesfield finished 13th. So let's have a look. So we left off after the 1st of February. 8th of February. We then drew 1-1 with Morecambe, beat Exeter 3-0, lost to Crewe 4-2, beat Salford 3-1, then a couple of losses before a 2-1 victory over Cheltenham and a 5-2 victory over Bradford. What is interesting looking through this is that Donovan Wilson only scored another couple of goals. One there against Crewe and one there against Bradford City. Nahu continued to score, but that meant that Macclesfield finished 13th. Let's have a look at the big table first. So Macclesfield finished 13th. Now let's also have a look. So even worse, 80-1 expected to go down. So Macclesfield finished 13th, scoring 82 goals, the top scorers in the division. The problem that let them down was the defence, conceding 69, with a goal difference of 13, which is playoff territory, and 66 points, 11 points off the playoffs. And a good 15 points off the top position, which went to Leyton Orient. So let's have a look firstly at Kelleher is a good player for Scott. I mean, so there they've got the players. I mean, he's wanted by Blackpool. Let's have a look at the others. Fraser Horsfall, potential to be a Sky Bet League in the future, decent for Smoska. I mean, they did have the players sort of in defence. I mean, Reece, Charles Cook, Jonathan Mitchell, who they got on loan from Derby. It's good for Sky Bet League One. I mean, they had some decent players in there, so the argument about the defence might need tidying up might not ring very true. Fitzpatrick doesn't tell you. There we go. Leading player for Vanarama National. And that is where we've got the problems. James Pearson, he's played leading player. There we go. So most of these players that we're now picking out, Harry Hamlin, again. So that's where you can see it. So if you had a season to transfer players in and improve Macclesfield to your standard, you may get a different result. Let's have a look at the goals then. 22 for Donovan Wilson. Injured. 7 to 10 months out. That's not good. Nahu got 20 goals. Then we've got 9 for Tracy, 8 for Fitzpatrick, the left back. Archibald with 7. 4 for Stevens, 4 for Kelleher, 4 for Ironside, 3 the rest, 2 the rest, 1 the rest. Assist wise, 10 for Archibald, 9 for Kirby, another injury there. That was done on the 18th of April. 8 for Wilson, 7 for Stevens. It seems the goals dried up in that second period. The assists dried up as well. Let's have a look. If we look here. So despite Wilson and Nahu Nahu did. Despite Wilson not scoring as many more goals, he was still the top scorer and the top 2 scorers in the division with 19 and 17. Player of the matches, no more won. But Wilson had won 5, I think, last time he was on. And it was only 6 that won it, so there was potential there. I think Wilson probably went downhill. That probably cost them. But 7.32 finishes there on the assists, so they dried up a little bit. All in all, it has improved Macclesfield, so predicted to finish here. Probably, for anybody that's seen Macclesfield tend to always go down, around about 20 points, maybe 25 points more using this tactic than if they were just the standard team in the division. No influence from us. They were in the playoffs at one point. So all in all, the tactic's done what it's went to do. Am I overwhelmed by it, thinking, yes, this is the tactic that's going to... No. But that might come with the influence that you give it. I don't want to turn around and say this tactic doesn't work, because it clearly does. We've seen it work in 2 previous episodes, and it's worked in that it's improved Macclesfield. Now, just remember, we're having no influence. If you were to grab hold of Macclesfield and you were to sign, I don't know, 5 players that would improve Macclesfield, play those players with this tactic and play the right players for the tactic, and your influence it, if you were to get another 15 points out of them, which, you know, is another 5 victories, that puts you on 81 points and joint top. And so you can see that the gap for the error, it's a fine line between success and failure that we're seeing. And so I'm a little bit too harsh on it. I mean, even 4 more victories, 3 more victories would get you that. Would if I have taken, let's have a look, Crew, and put this tactic at Crew, who finished 10th, would that have given them an extra 10 points? Would that have seen Crew promoted? Would it have given them an extra 20 points? Would it have seen them run away with the league? And that's the thing that I'm probably talking about with the episode 7, the extra episode, doing a couple more things with it to show that this tactic can give the results that it needs and just be fair to it. So while we're giving the bottom clubs in each division this tactic and saying, there you go, we're seeing that they are improving, but are we not seeing the capabilities because of the players that's at those clubs? Because they are. bottom ranked players in that division. That's it for this episode. Next episode we're up to League 1, and if I'm right it will be, I don't want to say it's Bolton, but it could be, not sure. We'll have a look at that, who's the bottom ranked team. I've got a feeling it's either Tranmere or Southend, but we'll see who's the bottom ranked team when we set up the new game. We'll go with whoever it is, we'll put the tactic in, we'll do exactly the same. What we might do is only play one game, because we're playing 2 games each episode. We're not seeing very much, and I am conscious that we're messing about within, although we're quick picking and the assistant manager is doing what he would normally do. That's the thing that we're doing. We're putting the substitutes on, we're not giving the shouts, etc, etc, and so I'm conscious of that. So it's probably only going to be one game we come back for in the remaining episodes. So League 1, Championship and Premier League to go. But that's it for this episode. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching, and if you've used the tactic, please put a comment below, just so we know how you're going. Screenshot it, like the video, subscribe for more. We will be doing other things, it's not just tactics. I am working on a lot of things. So we've got Rovers Return coming, which is a 1 club save rather than non-league to glory, where we move on to attain glory. That will be based in Scotland. That probably gave it away. We're also doing a little segment, a mini episode if you like. It's just a one-off, which will be good non-league free transfers to sign. There'll be a shortlist that's made available, etc. on that. So it is good to have the to subscribe and put the notifications on. It also helps where things are positioned, it helps people find the channel, and it really does make a difference. The other thing is, put the comments down, because Chris, who has created this tactic, where we post the video, where it's seen on YouTube, he'd probably like to see some of the results of other people when they've had their own influence in it. And also it's just great for everybody else to drop and, you know, here's what I did with Lincoln, here's what I did with Oxford, here's what I did with Manchester City, if you wanted to do it with Manchester City, whatever you've done, just for other people to see, because I haven't got time to do it for each club. So it'd be great to have that in the comments. That's it. See you on the next episode.
We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.